Welcome back to the International Auto Show in Montreal. It's the 46th edition. It's our second webcast. My name is Stéphane Garneau. I'm reunited today with Marie-Laurence Paquin. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Miranda Lightstone, who is also back. It's been a week since we spoke. Can we talk? Can you give us an overview of the kind of week that you had? What did you see? What was exciting for you guys? Marie-Laurence, we'll start with you.
Very busy week, and especially the weekends. It's crazy how many people there is here today.
Yeah.
It's very popular, and I think that's what makes Montreal different too. A lot of cars to see. Nice Nissan Micra, for example, Audi Q3, Lincoln MKC. We have so many, the new Mercedes-Benz GLA.
Yep.
So a lot of new cars here in Montreal this week.
Good stuff. And let's talk about the crowds, because there's really a lot of people here. And what does that mean, that it's so popular? It means there's a necessity, that there is room certainly for the auto show in Montreal.
No, most definitely. I mean, if nothing else, like I said last week, we have a very unique car culture here in Montreal, and we really, really like our cars. And seeing the crowd behind us, I mean, that's proof of it, right? I mean, it's last day, I think, or second to last day, and the doors are still being crashed down. People are here to see cars that they might not ever get to see in life. In general, like, the Bentleys behind us, Rolls-Royce, Porsche, all the high-end cars that they don't get to sit in or touch on a day-to-day basis. This is also proof that the auto industry is doing a lot better than it has been.
Yeah,
it went through a really hard time, right? And I think it's really picked itself up, and Montreal Auto Show is proof of that.
Yeah.
There's one more day to enjoy it. Tomorrow, Sunday, 26th, so we should enjoy that.
They should enjoy that, and of course, from a consumer's point of view, well, they're all here. You don't have to travel throughout the city to see different cars.
You don't have to go from dealer to dealer. You can go here. You go from Kia to Honda to Nissan to all in one day, all in one place.
Yeah, and we can do test drives, right?
Yes, you can. Of the electric, I think it's just electric cars.
Electric and hybrid cars, yes.
Right, so if you want to take one out for a spin, it's a 3-kilometer stint, I think.
Mix of city and highway, so you can see how the car is on a highway as well. And it's very interesting because only a few people had the chance to try and to drive those electric cars. So now it shows that it's not out of this world,
Right, it's not such a futuristic, from the movies, and we're just looking here at somebody's driving a Tesla. I mean, that's a huge deal. I mean, the Tesla is on everybody's tongue, on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
We're talking about it all the time, and the fact that you can drive one here, that's really pretty cool.
For free.
It is pretty cool.
You just have to register. It's amazing.
And we're going to talk extensively about the electric cars and the hybrid cars in a few seconds, but just give me an overview of those cars that you can't test drive, like the Lamborghini or the Maserati or the Porsche, these cars that are very expensive, very powerful, very attractive cars.
And that's the thing, they are attractive. And, we see them in the movies and we see them in magazines, and they're kind of like these fantasy poster child, and they're on your wall as posters, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to see them in real life, I mean, a lot of them you can't get too close to here, which is a bit of a shame, but, maybe if you talk to
you can't sit in it. You can't really sit in it.
Some of them, I think you can sit in the Porsches. I don't think you can sit in the Bentleys that are behind us, the Rolls Royces. They like to keep those a bit more pristine. They like to keep them a bit clean. But if you're nice and you talk to the display people, they might let you in. But no, that's a huge attraction because these are the cars of people's dreams.
And you don't have the chance to see that a lot. Those cars, you won't walk in a Lamborghini dealership just to look. You can do it, but now it's so much easier. You have all of them under the same roof.
Yeah, there's no pressure, right? You're not walking into somebody's going to be like, "Oh, would you like to buy one?" And you're like, "No."
All right, let's talk about the electric cars. Give me an overview of what you saw. All the ones that are well known, the Leaf, the i3, the Volt, they're all here. So is there one in particular that stands out?
Well, for me, the launch of the BMW i3 was, groundbreaking. And BMW's done some amazing things with this car. It's a city-dwelling electric car. So it was a huge deal when they unveiled it. It looks futuristic. It looks like it's from like iRobot or something. It looks like it's
the visibility is amazing because it's all made of glass.
And there's like wood in the interior. It's all recycled products, and it's fully electric, and it's really made for the city. It's not a long highway road trip car, but it's an EV, and that, to me, that was the most exciting electric launch here at the Auto Show.
But for people to be interested in electric cars, you have to be confident that we have an electrical network that is adequate, that works properly. And so where are we right now?
It's a bit of a problem just because the range, the autonomy is not as big as we expect them to be. But there are more and more stations, charging stations that are implanted in Quebec and all across Canada. We had an announcement that 10,000 new charging stations will be here in Quebec, across Quebec and Canada, and maybe United States too, partnership with United States. So it's going to make a big difference. So in the near future, this problem of not being able to charge your car might disappear.
Well, that's one of the issues with EV, right? It's range anxiety. That's why they're not as popular. And having that, having the infrastructure, having the charging stations there, they'll pop up eventually. It will make EVs and hybrids more attractive. But for now, there's that, where am I going to plug it in? If I go shopping for the day, where am I going to charge my car? I can't just go to the gas station.
That sort of makes sense.
No, it does,
But there are rebates and incentives, so the government seems favorable to the development of that sector.
They want people to drive these cars. They're not just saving the environment. In the long run, they're saving you money as well. And, they're changing the way we live. And, we did a huge EV test last year with the 4 electric cars. And we lived with them. We went grocery shopping, we went to the mall for the day, and we tried to see how it would be in the life of an electric car driver. And you do have to change the way you live. You have to change your schedule, you have to change your routine, you have to change your route because you have to make sure you can plug your car in.
You have to plan a little bit more.
Right, you've got to plan your life
but
a bit more.
We're in a period of transition, but we're moving forward.
And we want to, and it's clear with that because now, even with the EVs and hybrids that are out there, they're more practical. It used to be if you wanted an EV, you had a car with no back seat. It was full battery and you couldn't take your family.
Let's talk hybrids. What is a hybrid exactly?
In layman's terms,
in my terms, so I can understand.
It's a car with an electric motor and a gasoline engine.
All right,
so
I get that.
Both at the same time. So sometimes it's only the electric and motor that is running and that's moving the car, and at a point it's both. The motor and the engine together combined, and the electric, the gasoline engine can charge a battery also, so it gives a little bit more autonomy to the electric motor. So it works together.
So again, from the consumer's point of view, Miranda, is that a more interesting alternative?
Yes, it is. I mean, you can save copious amounts of fuel with that because your hybrid engine, your electric engine, then can kick in and stop and go traffic in underground parking lots, in slower suburban settings. I mean, a week ago I had a Pathfinder hybrid, so a big 3-row SUV Nissan Pathfinder, and normally you'd get about 12 to 15 liters per 100 kilometers in an SUV. I'm talking about Prius. The Prius is a huge family vehicle, and it's huge for hybrids. But
it's a pioneer of all this here.
I was distracted by the
So you don't have to sacrifice space.
No, you don't. You used to have to, and now you don't. And that's the beauty of the hybrid. And really, in the end, it comes down to saving money for yourself at the pumps because you're not filling up as often. You're getting better gas mileage. The range on the hybrids, the electric range is much smaller. It can be 10 kilometers, 8 kilometers, whatnot.
That's it. And let's say you have to do 30, 35 kilometers a day. That's the average of every Quebec person. You can have a plug-in hybrid, which is even more interesting. You come back home, you plug your car, and you won't have to spend $1 in gas for the whole week because you just need the autonomy of the battery, and you're good with it. So it's kind of adapted, a little more adapted those plug-in hybrids. I would recommend that.
And in terms of incentives, there are also financial incentives to buy charging stations for your house.
Yes, exactly.
So government gives between $4,000 and $8,000 depending of the type of battery. So $8,000 on a car, because this is the main problem. It's too expensive right now to be worth it.
Right.
So let's say
if you have the gas option that costs you $10,000 less, why are you going to buy the hybrid or the
because
EV?
It takes many years before
you see that money back.
That's it, reimbursing yourself. And most of the time we want to lease those cars. We don't really want to buy them because we're not too sure about reliability in the long term. So it's better to lease it, but you have to spend a lot when you buy it.
Yeah, of course. But we're in a period of transition.
It might change very quickly.
For sure. I mean, it's something that they do want us to catch on. They do want us to buy the hybrids. They do want us to buy the EVs. And it's just a matter of, the general public too understanding that these cars are worth it. They are much more expensive right now. As the years go on, the technology gets a bit older, the technology gets a bit more integrated, and we get used to the extra that it costs to own one, and realize that in the long run, you are saving that amount of money on gas, and you're saving the environment. which is,
Yeah.
everybody wants to do that, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's a matter of kind of changing the general public's perception of them as
Yes.
well. And
The
fact that they're
image too,
right,
yeah.
the image. They're slow. They don't drive quickly. You can't have fun in them. They cost too much
And they're
money.
gonna catch on fire?
They're gonna catch on fire because
No,
they have a
that's
battery.
it.
There's all these stereotypes that they kind of
But
have to be squished.
so there still is a need for some education, so
Yes,
to
definitely.
people
And
to be
it's
more
changing.
aware of how they work.
Right, and the way the cars are changing. I mean, the Chevy Volt is a huge change. That is an EV, and it's a confusing EV because it has a gas engine. It's considered an EV because the electric motor drives the wheels.
Okay, we're gonna wrap with the technological innovation. So what spiked your interest this week? What did you see?
There are a lot of green technologies as well, like hydrogen. There's the natural gas you can power your car with. And we're not too open to this in Quebec, but I've seen in other countries, South America, in Asia, it's full of gasoline, natural gas.
Natural gas,
Natural
it's a
gas
huge,
powered cars. And you just have a big tank, and we don't like to have a big tank in our...
It's like you're driving with a propane tank in the back. You don't want
That's it,
that.
and your kids are there. But
Yeah,
to me, like, it didn't explode or anything,
Right.
but we are not too comfortable with that. But it's another technology. But there are...
And we can see
Yep.
some of the new technologies now on the. We see pictures of them. Of
Makes
course.
me think of Honda. Honda now you can plug your iPhone and that's it. You just like see the screen
Honda
of your
Link, yeah.
iPhone or of your smartphone on the onboard computer.
That's a huge, the auto industry now, how it's changing, basically our cars are becoming our smartphones, a bigger version of our phone. You
Yeah.
get into your car and your car then becomes your phone. So you don't have to pick up your phone, you don't have to talk on it. It automatically hooks to your car and it can do everything for you. Read text
So,
messages, it can show you pictures, it
yeah,
can,
yeah.
You
So
have
so of
access to
course
music.
there's a need to use these technologies safely.
Yeah, well, that's the whole
To
purpose,
be careful.
right?
And
Yeah.
they cut the access of it when you're driving,
Well, some of them
like
do,
the
yeah.
GPS.
Oh, really?
Some of
Okay.
them have a blocker.
Some
yeah.
of them have a blocker.
So you can have access to
Which
your
is
music.
not a bad idea.
You can have access
Not
to
so
GPS
bad.
too. You don't need to add a GPS in your car.
Right. It's
Since
on
you
your phone.
have data in your phone,
Yeah.
you can use it through
it's-
your iPhone directly.
Technology is a huge, massive part of the auto industry right now, and it's about
course.
attracting the younger buyer as well. Like I said, your phone is your fifth limb. Like people, their
Yeah, no, I
smartphone
know.
is part of their life. So if they don't have it with them and they can't use it all the time, then they get a bit upset. So manufacturers realize this, and they're trying to integrate that into their vehicles as much as
course.
possible.
And as soon as you plug it in, you cannot touch your phone anymore. Your phone is now the screen of
Yeah,
the
a lot
car.
of them actually have the plugs are in the glove box. So if you
Yeah.
plug your phone in to charge it, it's closed in the glove box. You can't even get to it, which I think is really smart.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. Because
Yeah,
you don't have
and
the
in ter-
temptation of touching it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you cannot, so forget about it.
Yeah, and in terms of new technologies and things like that, safety features
Yes.
are always a big selling point.
Yes.
So
They're hugely popular now, and even companies. The Volvo, right? They were kind of the starters of all that. They did the blind spot warning. They did the front city safety, so front crash, so that you couldn't hit anything. And this has kind of trickled down into the lower end. Manufacturers.
Yeah.
Mazda now has
Mazda
the front
with the eye active sense.
Yeah, they have a sensor. Subaru has the eyesight system. There's some really interesting safety
And
technology
accessible,
out there.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
what it is. But you also have automated driving with BMW, for example, like the new M235i. You can press a button and then the car drives itself, and you can press another button and the car can even drift. So as a drift driver, I'm not too happy about
The
it.
car can
in the
drive
sense-
for you, yeah.
Yes, I want to do it myself. You know what I mean?
You no longer have a job.
Yes. That's it. But at least you have the possibility. It's amazing to see to what extent
Yeah.
it went. It's
Well,
very
look
far in
forward to it.
automated driving.
Like
yes.
Ford does park assist. Your car can now parallel park itself.
Yeah.
You're a bad parallel parker? No problem. Your car will do it
The
for you.
car will do it
It'll
for
find
you.
you the spot and it will put itself in there for you.
Yeah, but can the car make you coffee?
Not yet.
Not yet.
When a car can do that, I will not leave it. So I'm
you
going to
will
live
live
in
in
my
your
car,
car.
basically. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
There are so many technologies, like Rolls-Royce, for example, with the satellite-aided transmission. They're going to select the gear for you using GPS. So they know that their curve is coming, so they'll select the gear before, so it makes everything very smooth driving. It's with satellite
A
GPS.
little bit scary.
It's crazy, and you have the same technology for LED headlights. They
Oh, yeah,
know that
those
the
to the
car,
best.
curve is coming, so they're gonna turn the LED lights towards the curve, so you see better. Infrared technology
All
too.
right.
So it's there's no end.
No,
to
There's
it.
really
no
isn't,
end
really
to
isn't.
these innovations.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to wrap it up with this. Miranda Lightstone, Marie-Laurence Paquin, thank you very much for
Thank you.
these
Thank you.
two webcasts. We're here at the Salon International de l'Auto de Montréal 2014. There is a French version of this webcast, so don't hesitate to find it on the web. So I'm Stéphane Garneau. Thank you very much, and I'll see you around.